let's jump to this story. We got a couple political bits to jump on. We have the post-millennial Trump blasts attempt to illegally remove his name from ballot in Colorado on phony insurrection claims. And ladies and gentlemen, we have received a spot in the books of history. At the trial for Donald Trump over whether or not he should be allowed on the ballot, they played this clip, which I will play for you now, of a show you've probably seen with Kash Patel. Here we go.
I have to wonder, Kash, if everything I said before about people being too stupid, it's in fact that the leadership is as stupid, right?
Of course.
The leadership is, the leadership is evil. They're not stupid. There's a distinction. Yeah. I've worked with all of these people. They are pure evil. The only thing the Pelosi's and the Schumers and the like care about in the world is being glorified in the media. That's it. What's my next headline? What's my next payday? How do I scam the stock market with my husband? How do I come out on top and be Speaker of the House for more than basically a decade? That is the tract that people come in behind them on and saying, I want to be the next her. I want to be the next him. They are evil. That's the problem. The people that follow them, yes, stupid.
Yep, stupid. And they're evil. So that was played, that clip. It's funny because as soon as Kash said they're evil, I laughed with myself laughing in the clip in the same way. I thought it was hilarious. And shout out to Phil Labonte for his cameo in the Trump trial. This is the current state of American politics. We have this this tweet here from Dean Phillips. He says, in one graph, this is why I'm running for president. We could be sleepwalking towards disaster. We need an open primary, and I hope other qualified Democrats still jump in. Here it is from Bloomberg News Morning Consult. Trump is leading in 5 of 7 swing states, and Michigan's a tie. So you've got in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Arizona, and Georgia, Trump is ahead. In Michigan, it's tied. In Nevada, Biden is leading. In altogether, Trump is up by 4 points. So why are they trying to remove Trump from the ballot in Colorado? I think Colorado isn't one of these states. But they want to make sure that the popular vote count is as low as possible for Donald Trump, and they want to cripple him. They want to exhaust his resources and force him into legal battles. The problem, however, is this is basically giving Trump a 24/7 rally. I get it. They're trying to stop him by any means necessary, but it's like a Chinese finger trap problem. They keep saying, we're going to put him in court. And then, okay, now the media has got a camera in Trump's face again, letting him say whatever he wants.
And it makes me think the people in Colorado whose tax dollars are being spent on this trial, right? Do they look at this and say, yes, this is our biggest priority? If you had told me they were doing something similar in like maybe 2016, right? When people were really 2020, when people were really orange man bad, really freaking out about Trump, maybe I would have said, oh yeah, the average Coloradan feels like this is the most important news. But I don't feel that way, especially post-COVID. And especially since, Denver in particular has been really hard hit by illegal immigration. There are a lot of issues that I'm sure people in Colorado would rather see their government focusing on. And instead, this is what they're being told their government's the legal apparatus of their government's number one priority is right now. That would seem satisfactory for me. I don't know how you feel about it.
No, I agree. And I think what the American people are seeing is just a spending spree by the Biden administration. To your point, the average everyday American now is paying a lot more attention to what's going on politically. And I think Trump once again resonates with the common American and, the two-tier justice system. The guy's been on trial since 2016, and you can only run it so many times without people paying some attention. And the more they, the more they see it, the more drawn in they are. And I just think Trump has put on a masterclass on how to deal with the media. He's put on a masterclass on how to deal with these court systems, and he's very transparent and he speaks his mind. And I think people appreciate it. I know I do.
He's definitely weathered this. I would say there's great words to describe it, but very impressively, I would say. His mind is still very clear. I can hear the fatigue, but I mean, God, anyone going through this would be fatigued.
I'm just at the Elmo meme phase in this one. The Elmo with fire rising up behind him. That's where I'm at with this. And I'm
Tim's Halloween costume next year.
At this point, I really don't care what Trump says or does. I just despise these people so much that I just want Trump to go in and do whatever he wants because it would be the most irritating thing in the world for them. And I know that's how people felt in 2016 and 2020. I didn't feel that way in 2016. I was like, it's all stupid. But there were a lot of people who were looking at Donald Trump as this raging bull, and they were laughing like, I hope this guy gets to do what everyone. I'm at the point where I'm just like, I am so fed up with these trials, with these lies, the manipulation. I'm just like, can we get 2 or 3 Trumps? Can we get the whole Trump family? Can we get...
Where is Barron? Where is Barron?
I got an idea. We're constantly trying to figure out who the VP is going to be. Trump. Trump, just do it. I don't care which one it is.
Can you run with your son?
Why not?
Can your son be your vice president?
Any one of them. Any one of them.
As long as they're not from the same state.
Trump.
But I don't think they are.
Laura
She's
Trump.
the only one in yeah. Well, she was North Carolina. I'd heard rumors that Laura Trump might seriously consider running in North Carolina because that's where she's from.
She should be VP. Trump.
So interesting.
Just more Trumps. I just
all the
want.
Trumps.
I just these awful people who exploit the system to enrich themselves through the stock market and all this awful garbage. And then we're watching them lie, cheat, and steal because the American people are finally like, guys, you ripped us off for long enough. All we're doing now is saying Trump's going to build some border security and we're going to bring manufacturing back. None of these wars. And y'all couldn't even have it. Y'all got away with ripping us off for generations, stealing these ridiculous stock trading deals. They know what's going on. They're passing the laws. They're introducing them. They are lying, cheating, and stealing. And all we ask is that some dude gets in for 8 little old years and gets some border security and brings some manufacturing back. And you said F you to all of us. And I'm just like, at this point, I just hope it's Trump 2024, 28, 32, 36, et cetera. Just never ending.
What is it?
I'm just so done with it.
Have you seen the Mel Gibson meme where it's like me voting for Trump in 2016 is just Mel Gibson smiling, and me voting in 2020, and then me voting for Trump in 24, and it's got Mel Gibson with the Braveheart blood everywhere. That's how the American people feel, man.
What is it about Vivek? How do you feel about Vivek? And
I love him.
I do too.
I love him.
Do you think do you throw your support behind him? Or would you pick Trump? Do you have a preference?
My loyalties to Trump. I think he deserves another 4 years for all of the reasons we just said. But Vivek, I met him a few years back when he wasn't running for politics. He spoke at a Lincoln Day dinner locally and took a couple minutes of time to talk to me. And he's a guy from Ohio. I think he's the young, articulate, strong American dream type of guy that we need. And he could be VP. Great. I think that's what he
said he wouldn't take it.
He said he wouldn't, but he's probably the best person right now, realistically, in terms of positioning. I would, it is tough to figure out like who really would be the best VP, but Vivek, outside of him saying he doesn't want it, probably is best positioned for it.
I know his team is that's their focus, right?
VP?
Yeah. I mean, I talked to his team. They're great people, right? But I mean, the long game for them, they're supporting Trump. I mean, Vivek is supporting Trump, right? He's never bashed him, but
Vivek's also 38.
I think the reality, he knows he's not going to defeat Trump, right? And I think Vivek's intention was to kneecap Ron DeSantis in the debates, and he did a hell of a job doing it.
Well, Ron did it to himself. I'm going to say, Ron, I wanted to love you, dude. You went on Patrick Bet-David's show. Where have you been? Come on, man. Just relax and sit down and talk to us.
It's easy.
Take your shoes off. Don't worry.
He's the governor of Florida in Florida. Patrick Bet-David's in Miami. It was like, I'll never do this, right? Cenk, you came on the Culture War podcast. I said, thank you. I know you host your own show. Taking time off from your show to do my show is a favor to me. I get it. Ron DeSantis is in Florida. It's easy for him to do PBD.
Yeah, but you put in, what would it come to fly out here? You put in like 18 hours of work. You're going to get 700,000 hours of product out of it from watch time.
I got to be honest. I got to be honest about this. Patrick Bet-David is much more brutal than I am. I give people leeway, and some people argue I should not.
Yeah.
A lot of people were saying that when Cenk Uygur came on the show, I should have just gone at him way heavier, and they were like, why didn't it pop off? And I was like, I was trying to prevent it from getting into that heated debate.
Well,
and there were a few points where we talked about George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery where Cenk got really heated, and I pulled away from it, trying to keep things down. Patrick Bet-David, the way he went after Anthony Weiner, I mean, Ron had to know that PBD is not going to let him walk away from the high heel scandal in this way. I got to be honest. If Ron came here, I would not drag him. I would not have done that.
You wouldn't have had a box of Ferragamo shoes. Like it was funny. It's a clip. Obviously, his team had planned it. Even the way he's like phrasing the like, I'm sure you've heard about this thing, like this scandal about your shoes or whatever. Like Patrick Davis knew what he was doing. He knew he was going to do it the second. He got DeSantis. It's a different style of show. It's not the way you operate.
No one who comes on the show will ever be ambushed like that. And I mean, there's no disrespect to PBD. I think it was masterfully done. And he's pointing out great criticism, but that's just not how we do things. I'm a big fan of the work that he does. I think he's a genius. But it's funny to me seeing that. I'm like, the DeSantis people are banned from coming on this show. But they would choose
by their own team.
Right. Yeah. We want them on. We want DeSantis and his people to come on, but they've refused. They've told their staff they're not allowed. And then he decided to go on valuetainment instead, where it's like, yo, that's the frying pan, man. That's like,
It's way
PPD
more
is not
hostile.
going to, yeah.
It's an example of the poor team that Ron DeSantis has around him. And he's in an echo chamber, right? I've met Ron DeSantis before. I liked him before the election, man. I was just thinking, like, this guy, if he would have done what Reagan, did to Barry Goldwater, right? He could have passed the torch, or not passed the torch, but he could have had the torch passed to him on the back end, right? And he didn't do that. And I think everything about his campaign is a shining example of the consultant class ruining politics. The guy has been in an echo chamber his entire campaign. You can see when he steps out, because when he steps out, that's when he's, out of his zone and he makes, a lot of mistakes. But man, dude, only if, right? I mean, he would have been the perfect guy in 2028, but now it's too late.
No, you know what I really do think? I know I've said it several times in the past couple of weeks, but I think the donors went to Ron and convinced him to run to make sure he would not be VP. A Trump DeSantis ticket is unbeatable. And that's what everyone had been saying the year before. I've talked about, I'm talking to a guy, I'm hanging out at MGM National Harbor, and there's a guy, he's like, I hate Trump, but I can't vote for Biden. And I'm like, what about DeSantis? He's like, oh yeah, I'd vote for DeSantis for sure. And then I say, what if it's Trump DeSantis, Trump president, DeSantis VP? And he goes, yeah, I'd vote for it. He's like, with DeSantis there, I think I could do it. And I think the establishment saw the writing on the wall that Ron is willing to play ball with whatever's going to get him the victory. So in Florida, he's going along with core right culture war talking points, and he's putting his policies forward. And they're like, that means that if he teams up with Trump, he's going to just say yes, sir, to Trump. And he's going to go along with this to try and be successful and build a career up. So they go to Ron and they say, no, you should be president. You should run. And they're laughing at him behind the scenes. They're like, this guy's an idiot. He's actually going to do it. He thinks he's going to go up against Trump. Oh, I got an idea. Tell him to wear high heels. Tell him to wear high heels. And then don't show him the videos and then send him to PBD on purpose. This is the point. Cenk Uygur comes on this show. I basically let him speak. We have a little bit of disagreements and arguments, but there's a lot of stuff I could have brought up that we didn't bring up. Thanks for watching this clip from the TIMCAST IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.